Okay, but we don't know unless somebody signs on whether they can hear us.
Mm-hmm.
So testing it is.
So you just say, anybody here? Anybody follow us here? Which is what I did last time.
All right. How about if you talk while I send it out? And then we can know if there's sound.
Right. I'm just a placeholder here while we have these technical difficulties. Huh. There's one green dot. Is that all we got? Seems like it should be more. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm just not talking very loud with my mask on. Okay. 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 Seems like it doesn't pick up my voice. Okay, picking up my voice better. If I pull my mask down. Let's see. Where's the... Okay, is that better? Not much. Not getting a lot of... Not getting a lot of... Oh, okay. Can you see? Can you see? You can hear and can you see also? Ooh, what was that noise? Elka, so we have Connie can see and hear us. Okay, so Elka is sending an email with a new URL, and then she'll be in to start up the workshop again. Thanks for hanging in there. This is so frustrating when you do what you think you did every other time and it doesn't work. So. Okay, we should be starting in just a couple of minutes when Elka gets back. Sorry for the delay. Okay, here she comes. So maybe
Okay.
It may be me live and Connie virtual.
Okay, well, I have just sent the email to lots of people. I don't necessarily have all of the active members on my list.
Okay, you did what you could.
Yep.
You just have to
All right,
ahead.
let's check tuning.
No.
Oh my gosh. So this is the much delayed Potomac Valley Scottish Fiddle Club February workshop, and here's tuning. I'm flat. Okay, that's just a little bit sharp because there, that's right on. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your patience, everybody who's been following us through the different links. This is the Potomac Valley Scottish Fiddle Club February workshop. Last month, when I did dance tunes, one of the tunes that came up was a tune called Johnny Pringle. And I found out that it was not, in fact, a tune written by John Pringle. It was one by William Marshall. So I thought, well, let's look into this John Pringle guy and find out more about him, because I actually have played several John Pringle tunes. I knew a few of them already, and I was curious as to why the tune called John Pringle wasn't one of his tunes. And so I looked into it. So John Pringle, born around 1770, probably from the Borders region of Scotland, because his tunes and the books of tunes that he published, 2 books of tunes, they seem to have a lot of mentions of people and places in the Borders region. So he's known as a composer, dance musician, fiddler, And one of his tunes, Lady Anne Hope, is one of the most famous strathspeys of all. So let's find out more about him. I'm going to get right to the music because we had so much delay. Less talking, more playing. So let me play a tune for you. I think we'll go ahead and start with this one, which is his most famous, Lady Anne Hope. I got to tell you something. He didn't write it as Lady Anne Hope. In his book, it's called Miss Hope's Strathspey. Oh. And it's also a more simplified form, and it's in the key of G. Lady Anne Hope that we know these days is this brilliantly gorgeous strathspey in the key of G. So what happened is somebody took John Pringle's melody, they dolled it up, and then she got a promotion from Miss Hope to Lady Anne Hope. And so the tune also developed, as well as the title getting a little brush up. So I'm going to play you the original Miss Hope by John Pringle as printed in his first collection, where it's on page 3. So it's like right at the beginning. This is one of the featured tunes. And it really is one of his masterpieces. And even in its original form, before it got dolled up, it's still quite a nice tune. So why don't you listen to it, and then I'll play you the Lady Anne version. That's the one we'll learn by ear because that's the one that commonly circulates. Tune. Here's the Lady Anne Hope version of it. So it's definitely got a bit more drama in its updated version. The version of Lady Anne Hope that I just played for you comes not from John Pringle's own collection, but from the Flowers of Scottish Melody. That was published by J. Murdoch Henderson in the 1930s. But J. Murdoch Henderson put it in there because it was in common circulation, more particularly in the Northeast, which is where he was from. And the Northeast style of Lady Anne Hope is always like that. Mm-hmm. So sometime between when John Pringle published and when when J. Murdoch Henderson published, the tune underwent this transformation. And I've got to say a couple of things, which is that the conversion to the key of G gives you this great range. It brightens up the tune. Ironically, usually you add a sharp to brighten up a tune, but in this case, we subtracted a sharp, and nonetheless, the tune sounds more brilliant. So I think that's a neat trick. It doesn't have any ideas that aren't really, at least hinted at in the original. Oh, I am so glad that people are saying they can see and hear. Well, anyway, the dolled up version, Lady Anne version, just has more triplets. There are triplets in the original, but we're just like taking that triplet idea and really going to town with it. So let's learn Lady Anne Hope, that version of John Pringle's Miss Hope's Strathspey. So key of G, no pickup note, right into it. And we start off with a snap from D to G. And continuing like this. Next measure. This is another case where the new version, quote unquote new, it's been around a long time, but it's not the original. The non-original version has a built-in ornament. So you just go up and then down around that note C and land back on the C. Okay, let's continue on with what happens next. Just add one note for now. Here's what goes next. Ending on a high G. So with the C, with the turn, that whole second measure. Okay, next bit. So it's a lot of stair step kind of figures where you're skipping one note in between. Again. And the end of phrase. All right, so now we have a 4-bar phrase. Let's try putting it together. Okay, let's move on. The second phrase is almost the same. There's only really 2 differences. One is that we're going to have a pickup note so that we can turn it around, and so it's that low B. I won't fuss if you put in a different pickup note. That's really okay. So it's time for the other thing that's different. In the first ending, it was just straightforward, right? This time is a little fancier. It's just a scale going down. Don't be afraid. So for people who are using bows, I tend to bow that group of 16th notes, the 4 16th notes, with the first two slurred and then the second two separate. Okay, so I want to try putting together the 8-bar phrase. That's the entire first half of the tune. 2 4-bar phrases that are almost the same. Just remember that pickup note is a low B, and the second ending is the one with the scale going down. Let's do it again. Okay, let's do the second part. So second part goes up high, and the pickup note is a G. So find that G note. And then it uses your arpeggio note. So G, B, and D. D, B. So and we're cutting it off there. All right, I cut it off there because I need the next note is basically a pickup note to the next bar. All right, our next bit is triplets. We have pickup notes leading into it. It's triplets that are mainly scale, not exclusively scale, but almost entirely. So the pickup notes E and F sharp, because we were ending on that E note, so we're simply going to go up the scale and then scale triplets. Here's what comes next. Not scale. And then scale. So those two groups together. All right, do you remember the beginning of that triplet measure? Scale, right? From G note going up and down. Not scale. Down scale. Okay, that's it. All right, we're going to do the next bar. Next bar, we just ended there. We're going to climb the scale and go back down one note and climb the scale again. So okay, and the end of the measure. So we just had climbing up the scale, right? So it's pretty clear we're going to play that G note. And then you jump down and go down the scale. And that's just a wasting time so that you get to the A at the right moment. Yeah, you only have... That gets you there a note early. So... And that uses up all 6 notes. Let's try that sequence of 6. And now with the scale going up right in front of it. Let's add in the previous triplet measure. So here's the reminder of how it went. It was up high, the knot scale, and then right, let's try it. It starts on G. One more time, yeah? Okay. All right. So I would like to put together the B part so far. We have 4 measures. Pickup note was a G. Wow, so the triplets come fast. So I'm going to have mercy on us and slow them down about the speed we were practicing before, which means that the other Strathspey portion is going to sound very slow. Very, very slow. All right. How was that? Okay. All right. We'll do it one more time then. Okay, not bad, right? All right. So yes, we're going to get a chance to play that again. I'm going to finish the tune though. It's almost the same. Really, really. It's just like that other thing where, fancy ending, replaces plain ending. In this case, the fancier ending comes first. And the second ending is actually much more straightforward. So we have almost the same thing exactly. One difference is at the beginning we had just a high G, right? And here that sets you up for a low G. So do a quick snap from low to high. And then continue as if you started on the high G. So a snap from low G to high.
That's right.
And that's it, right? I mean, you're expecting something a lot more challenging somehow, right? But it really is just going through the first measure and a half of triplets, just as before. But instead of doing a, which is a turnaround to the restart, instead of doing that, you just end up on a G, and then just for fun, you snap it to a high B because, you know, showy, right? It's showy. And that's it. That's the tune. That's the full thing. So let's do the entire B part with the first time the triplets leading to the turnaround. And with the low to high snap. And then it continues the same in the second time. And that's it. All right. So the B part of Lady Anne Hope. Okay, that's it. That is Lady Anne Hope. All right, we do need to practice that some more, but I want to bring the first part back in so that we practice the whole tune. We'll go through it a few times. Do you remember how it started? Becky remembers, yes. So let me just play the beginning so that you get it in your head again. Sound familiar? And remember, the second time has just slight tweaks to that. All right, here we go. play it a few more times through, but before we do, I want to show you a style thing about all those triplets, because it's actually not that usual to just play them straight like. No, they don't get played evenly like that. That kind of lilting of the triplets happens. So let me just show you what's going on. Sometimes it's being stretched out. So that's almost like dotting the first one, put a flag on the second one, and put the third one where it's supposed to be. The other thing that happens is sort of a compression. So I got there faster, and I often slur those. Now, I might not do it exactly like that. So I might play around with where those go. So there are some that are stretched out with the lilt, some that are more or less straight. I might put two stretched out ones together. A rising sequence is a very good place for that. And then I'm not allowed to rush ahead. Just because I got there. No. Mm-mm. So if I get there early, I still have to fill the beat. I can't say, oh, done, move on. That's not allowed. So if you do the compression version where you rush to the end of the triplet, you got to hang on the last note. All right, let's try playing this tune again. And when you get to the triplets, if you want to try this sort of push and pull, stretch, lilt, compress, the beat stays solid. We're going to keep the beat solid. But go ahead and give it a try when we get there if that's what you'd like to do. Okay, that's Lady Ann Hope, and I'm going to go off camera for a moment to turn the heat on because the pre-programmed thing is making us cold. Becky still has her coat on. Okay, it's a sweatshirt, but anyway, we'll turn the heat on. Why, yes. 62. It was set to 62. That's a little too chilly for me. All right. Are you interested in learning another one by ear? Yes? Well, how convenient. I do have another one here to learn by ear. Okay. Are you interested in a slow air? Maybe.
My other choice.
I'm not giving you a choice.
Oh.
You got a slow air, or you can learn the other slow air. No. I did not choose any of John Pringle's reels. I have marches, I have jigs, I have strathspeys, and I have slow airs. And it's not that he didn't write good reels, it's just that the others were even more interesting. So I found this one very striking, and it's called A Lament for Lord Ballenden. And my A, I'm gonna have to retune it. I tune because I care, Yeah, it keeps going flat. The reason is I changed the string just before the workshop. And that's better than having the string break during the workshop, right? Although given the other disruptions we had with this workshop, maybe that would have been the least of the troubles. Okay. I'm going to note for you, this is in the key of A major, which is actually not an unusual key for laments in Scottish music. In our modern perspective, we're like, oh, the major keys, they are happy and cheerful. The minor keys, they are sad. That is not a universal. It's sort of a cultural thing. What does your culture view as, happy or sad, musically speaking? I mean, back in Elizabethan times, a lot of the minor key music was considered sweet rather than sad. And I have to say, within the Scottish fiddle context, the minor keys are often fiery rather than sad. And some of the saddest tunes I know in Scottish music are in major keys. In fact, in Gaelic song tradition, if it's in a major key and it's slow, it's probably about death. It's real, it's just, that was sort of the cultural context. So I'm not going to go around claiming that every major key air is a lament, and that it's supposed to be sad. But this one, in a major key, is definitely a lament, and there is a, definitely a solemn idea to this piece. So there it is. Let's learn it. I mentioned it's in the key of A. The pickup note is E. Okay, so it's going to go from that pickup note and by the way, this is in a triple meter. I'm not sure if you caught that, but there's space, okay? There's definitely this. I probably played it too fast when I was demonstrating this tune. I actually, as I was playing, I was like, I should have started it even slower. So you can learn it at the correct tempo because it's meant to be quite slow. Okay, so our opening bit. And the next phrase, it's pickup notes and then the downbeat. So the two together. Again. Next phrase starts the same way, except the pickup note's different. Because you were already on the E. So the pickup note F sharp. And the second follow-up phrase. So the second phrase of 2 bars put together is this. Okay, ready for more?
Yes.
Good. The next phrase is like the beginning, but with different pickup notes because it's coming from a different spot. We just ended on the B note. So to do our pickups, we're playing A and F sharp and doing the same key phrase there. The second follow phrase is the same. So those two together. And then the final pickup note, we're heading low. We're just on this E. We're going to go to the low C sharp for a pickup note. And the ending. The last phrase. Okay, let's try putting the whole phrase together. I'll just say that I think this is probably a harp tune. If it was not a harp tune, it sure would work great on the harp. So it can be a harp tune. I'm sure it would sound magnificent on the harp. It's just, it has that breath to let chords ring out. That phrasing. And you may have noticed that we really didn't break the phrasing much through the whole. It was like this rhythmic motif repeated again and again throughout that part. All right, how's that?
Good.
You ready to move on?
I like it.
Isn't it a nice tune?
I know. I'm feeling guilty for not being enthusiastic.
I
at the
know. When
beginning.
you're saying,
I was
oh,
like,
I don't know about the
there's
slow air. This is a great slow
It's
air.
a
This
great one.
this is one that when I read through every tune in John Pringle's collections. He has 2 books. Neither of them is very long. They're about 20 odd pages in each book, with about 3 tunes, sometimes 2 on a page. So it's a good number of tunes. Most of them are by John Pringle, but when I saw this one, I was like, wow, this is different. And also, I'll just point out, it's a little different from what most fiddle composers publishing in Scotland in those days. Neil Gow's books are full of strathspeys and reels and more strathspeys and reels, and occasionally here's a jig, and sometimes here's something else. Robert McIntosh, strathspey, reel, jig, strathspey, reel, jig, so to have this variety with slow airs and marches, that's a little unusual. So we just had our A part. Let's learn the B part. The B part makes use of that same theme. So it starts with the same 4 notes. But it goes someplace different. So it actually starts the same way after talking about how different it is. But that's the difference, right? And that says we are in the B part. So all our stuff where we've been cutting off the phrase before the end of the bar and having pickup notes, here we use the whole bar to make that phrase. So if it sounded like it was a little longer, yeah, it's a full beat longer. All right, the next phrase, it's shorter because we use that note, right? Next phrase. So we're back to having pickup notes on our phrase. So that little bit together is. Okay. So, yeah, let's put that 4 bars together, the 4 bars of the B part. Again. Okay. Now, the next 4 bars is the same as the last 4 bars of the A part. sound familiar? I hope so. The pickup note is an F sharp because that's signaling go to the second phrase. Let's do that again. Would you like to do the 8 bars?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So remember, it goes with the same start, and then it's heading for the high notes. And then the repeated phrase. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, great. We're not done. So there's a second half to the B part, and it starts the same way. So 4 bars, the same. Why, let's play it. Okay, now here is what's different, and it's definitely different. It's heading up for a new kind of wrap up. So it sounds kind of familiar, but it's doing this kind of steppy step and steppy step and steppy step. So it repeats its new rhythmic motif. So let's learn that. The pickup notes are heading up high, so C sharp and E. And then here's our steppy step thing. F sharp, C, E. So with the pickups, here's the next sequence. Here's the next sequence. Just one pickup note. And the ending. And that's tying it back to what we did before. So let's try to put this steppy step sequence together. Let's do that a few times, yeah? Okay. All right. So it's time to put things together. Whole tune? Just the B part?
Oh, let's see. Maybe we should just do the B part.
Let's do the B part first. Okay. So the B part will remind us of the A part because it does have repeated elements. So remember, it goes up high. Whoa, that's a bad squeak. Let's not do that. Here's our sequence. Okay, let's do the whole tune because so much of it does get recycled. I think all this time we've kind of been practicing the first part. All right. All right. So that was a lament for Lord Ballenden.
Is he a Borders guy?
I suppose I didn't really look him up, so I don't know much about him. I don't know. If I did look him up, I might be able to find out, exactly when the tune was written. But I didn't do that. I'm sorry. Didn't come up with that one. All right. I think that given our challenges getting started, that we'll just move on to sheet music at this point. And I'm going to mention a few things. Those of you who are watching this live, it's probably because you subscribed to the Fiddle Club YouTube channel and were able to get an alert of the new posting as soon as it went up. So thank you for subscribing and following us through this. And apologies for our technical difficulties getting started today. I swear I tested this. I actually had the whole system set up more than an hour before Fiddle Club Workshop was due to start, and I had tested everything. I had the cameras working, I had the sound working, and then it didn't work. So after much scrambling around, we finally got it. This is our third attempt, and I'm just glad it's got sound and video, so let's just be happy about that. If you don't have the sheet music but you want to be able to find it, go to PotomacValleyScottishFiddle.org, Right now, this sheet music is available on our main page via a link. So it's very easy to find. Later on, it'll still be available in the members area. If you're not a member of Fiddle Club, it'd be great for you to join the Fiddle Club. It gives you access to all kinds of sheet music and all of the previous videos of prior workshops. So if you haven't caught up on all of them and you want to, just join the Fiddle Club via the website, and you get access to all of the past music and workshops that we have available. All right, page 18. We're in book 29. We've been at this for a long time, and we've done a lot of good tunes. But here are some that we haven't done. So we just did a slow air. This one's another slow tune. It's a slow strathspey, though, so not quite the same thing as a slow air. You can play a slow strathspey as a slow tune, as a slow air, but it's the thing is that it's definitely in strathspey form. Now, some slow strathspeys can be sped up for dancing. It's usually not recommended. Here's Miss MacDonald Buchanan's Strathspey, a slow strathspey by John Pringle. Needs a resolution somewhere. You go into something else. You could go into the D version of Miss Hope, for example. So when you first play the beginning of that tune, you're like, why does this have to be slow? It's perfectly fine, normal. Then all the busy stuff happens in the second part, and you're like, oh yeah, that's worth slowing down to enjoy, isn't it? So let's try this tune. I played it wrong. Let's try that again. Let's do the whole tune one more time, just so that we got the proper feel for the whole thing. Okay. All right. So let's move on. The next music is Miss Hope's Strathspey. And this is, of course, the progenitor of Lady Anne Hope, as John Pringle originally published it. And I'm just going to make one comment because I can't resist. There are certain tunes that the composer has a certain view of it, and they put it out there, and that may very well be the way they played it and the way they conceived of it. But the world gets a hold of it and says, actually, it would be better like this. And they twist it around a little bit, and that becomes the commonly played version. We have had this before. I gave you William Marshall's Marchioness of Huntley. And he wrote it one way. Everybody plays it a little bit differently. And this is definitely the case with this Miss Hope / Lady Anne Hope. So let's play the progenitor tune, and then I guess we'll see how it reminds us of the one that we learned by ear. Oh, I'm supposed to play it first for you, right? Yeah, that's the example. Sorry. Let's try it. Okay, and I'm going to close the door. Because we have the rest of my family just arriving home, having been out. So let's go on and look on page 19, where we have yet another Strathspey in the key of D. Dr. Rutherford of Craigo's Strathspey. Let's find out how he sounds. Okay, so there is one error. There's always an error somewhere in the fiddle music. This music properly should be marked with DS, which stands for del segno. Go back to the sign, which is not printed. The sign should be right on the downbeat of the first full measure rather than on the pickup note. All you're doing is leaving the pickup note off when you repeat the tune. It's kind of obvious because the last bar of the music is completely full, and it leads directly into the top of the tune, but it just means omit the pickup note when you repeat the tune. Let's try this tune. Slowish. Okay, so I definitely like that one. I think that whoever this Dr. Rutherford was, he had some personality. Okay, so I'm gonna check my tuning again. Because the string just keeps going flat. I had a terrible experience a week ago where all the pegs popped out and I was afraid I was going to lose the sound post. But the sound post stayed and I was able to fix it. But you can probably see on the video in that far corner, there's this steam coming up, and that's my humidifier that I put right next to where I keep the violin. So obviously the humidification system within the case was not up to scratch because this was this instrument objecting to cold and dry. So if you're in a cold and dry climate, be sure to humidify your wooden instruments. All right. Public service announcement. On page 20, we're going to get another one of John Pringle's greatest hits. You might not expect it. It's called The Honorable Captain Elliot's Quick Step, and it's in the key of B flat. Now, before you say B flat, all of John Pringle's marches are in B flat. It's very clearly his favorite march key. Now, I don't know why. Now, they sit perfectly fine on a violin. We know he was a violin player. But I'm going to offer one possible explanation. Nathaniel Gow, who was his contemporary, was his official job was as an official trumpeter.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was a composer, he was a music publisher. He obviously played music and performed it and taught people. But his day job, so to speak, as a musician was to be like an official trumpeter. So trumpets, of course, love playing in this key. This is like the home key. If you're hearing bugle calls and stuff, they're playing in B flat usually. So maybe this was written with brass instruments in mind. It's just a theory. It could be complete hogwash. So don't quote me on that. But why are all of his marches in B flat? Maybe he was hoping brass players would like him. But here it is. Okay. Yeah. Now this one, I said this is another one of his greatest hits because this one's used for dancing. It's a title tune for a Scottish country dance. And why can't I remember the name of the dance right now? I'm sorry. It's not coming to mind. But let me play the tune. Very chipper, huh?
Yeah,
All right. So let's get warmed up in B flat. Let's just play that B flat scale. Start low. E is also flat. Here's your B flat. Don't forget E flat. Okay, you're gonna need that most of that range for this tune. So let's play slowly. You want to play faster?
Sure.
Okay, so this is more at dancing speed. the key. Perfectly simple tune. No, it does have its challenges because of those big jumps, but that's also kind of part of what's charming and interesting about this one. So I'm not going to apologize too much for that key. The next tune is also in 2 flats, but it's in G minor, and somehow everybody feels much more comfortable playing in G minor than they do in B flat, probably because the E flat note is not a very significant note in the piece. So here is the tune, Miss Julia Sinclair's Favorite. It's not claimed by John Pringle, which kind of implies it was written by somebody else. Here's the kicker, though. This tune is not found in any other collection. So did he write it but not claim it? Or was it,
Did she write it?
Did she write it? She might have written it.
Maybe she was a student or something.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's unknown outside of the John Pringle collection. So here's just for you. I like it. I think it might be my favorite too. I don't know. I have lots of favorites. You all know that. All right, let's try it slower at first. A little faster. And faster. Okay. Yeah. So I like that tune, and it's a little different, and it's too bad that we don't have the chords because they are interesting as well. It's not just, your standard, G minor, F, G minor, F, G minor. It goes different places. It's quite an interesting one, chord-wise. All right, the next tune is Miss Scott of Sinton. So Sinton is another Borders location. And Scott is very frequently a Borders surname. So let me play it for you. This one should also have a DS. And there's a repeat missing from the first line. I try to catch these things, and there's always something that gets past me. And I always have to end up fixing something with the music. So at least we've discovered it, right? Yeah. So please do repeat the first 4 bars. Mm-hmm. And when you go back to play it again, you don't have to play the pickup note because it's already there. All right, let's do it. All right. So that is Miss Scott. I think it just has this nice drive. It would be a great dance tune. Really move it along. Okay, we've got another quick step by John Pringle, and guess what? It's in B flat. This one and Captain Elliott's quick step. I wrote adapted from the Pringle collection. The only adaptation is in the original, they were written out in 2/4. And I have written them in cut time because I like the visuals on it instead of having to read 16th notes and reinterpret them as 8th notes. I kind of read the 8th notes, and it's also in keeping with the custom of how reels are written. It's a march, but I like having the parallel structure for visuals. So that's the only adaptation. Otherwise, this is just how it is in the original book by John Pringle, and it has no name other than Quick Step. Isn't that dandy? Yeah. I just like that one. I definitely like that one. All right, let's play it. slower, right?
Yes.
A little faster. All right, that's a cheerful little tune. All right, I have a special supplement. So this tune I first learned. Oh, how long ago was this? Like in the 90s, or maybe even in the 80s. This is a long time ago that I learned this tune. But I learned it in an arrangement arranged for dancing, for Scottish country dancing by Bobby Brown. So Bobby Brown said, "Heck with B flat. I'm not playing in B flat." And he rearranged a number of the things. So I just want to play you Bobby Brown's arrangement just so you can hear what's different about it. He also added a third part. I don't know where he pulled that one from, but you know, just cuz, right? I messed up. So that's Bobby Brown's arrangement, and it's it was arranged that way for a particular dance that had a need of a third part. So I understand why he wrote the third part. I find it an interesting adaptation, and it's kind of like it's interesting to see which elements he retained exactly, and which things he kind of twisted around, including such things as like not going back to the the extended B part that has the repeat of the A. So that was an interesting twist. So I just wanted you to hear that. Last tune in our printed music on page 21 is Robin's Law. So a law in Borders terminology is a hill. So there will be all kinds of laws. There's Largo law, there's Cock law, Robin's Law.
Oh,
Yeah. So I just wanted to explain that. This is actually normal terminology for the region rather than like, what is a Robin's Law? And I didn't want anybody interpreting this as like coleslaw, Robin's Law. Like that's bad images. We don't need that. Okay.
Bird lovers unite.
Right. No birds were harmed in the making of this tune. Let's just be clear about that. It's about the hills. All right, here it is.
Third position alert.
Okay, it's not necessarily third position. It goes up to a high C. And those of you fingering on a violin, now if you're playing a flute or a whistle or a concertina, you're in luck. A keyboard instrument, you're fine, no problem. But if you're playing a fiddle, you're going to run out of fingers for the notes, right? And you have a stretch, you have a choice for how to get to that C note. You can just stretch it. That risks being out of tune to start with. Right? So be sure of your stretch. I am demonstrating this so you don't feel bad. Now, you can shift into third position, and many people who have at least a little bit of classical training have learned how to shift into third position, where you place your third finger with your first finger, and then lo and behold, you've got extra notes, easy to finger. So people who have learned to shift into third position, that's often very, very convenient. For this tune, I'm also going to recommend exploring second position. It's not played nearly as often as third position, but where you substitute your second finger with your first. And then you can, and the C is your highest note. And it means that you don't have to shift midstream very much, because there are a lot of bits here where you go up to the C and then you come down to the G. Yeah. And so it's nice to have that all in one run in one position. So experiment around, figure out which method works for you. In my demo, I went to third position, but I'm sort of sitting on the fence as to whether I like second position better. I feel like it's easier to finger it, but because it's less familiar, that part is a little more challenging. I don't like the extension for this tune. It's just like too much extending and then coming back, using your fourth finger too much for too many notes. Okay, so let's play slowly, and you can mess around with how you want to do the fingering if you're playing a violin, and I'm sure you'll just be perfectly happy if you're playing a flute or a piano or something. I definitely heard a little, a oh, I don't want to go to sea. But honestly, you can get used to it, and I find it a delightful tune. Okay, maybe not everybody's with me there, but okay, let's do our ear tunes just one more time, as is the custom, and then we'll wrap up our workshop. Couple of things to say. Join us next month for March 13th. Second Sunday in March will be our next workshop. In April, it's going to be a different date. It's going to be April 3rd, which is the first Sunday. So first Sunday in April. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from watching it on the second Sunday if that's your preference. Okay, and I'm trying to think if there are any. Yes, there are some other announcements. We're going to be able to go back to more in-person workshopping in the spring. So provided that the numbers in our area stay reasonable or even go down from where they are now, we're anticipating that next month there will be some in-person. So there will be an announcement as to the location of the meeting, and those who want to attend in person will need to sign up via Becky.
Make a reservation.
Yes, make a reservation to come in person so that we can make sure that we don't exceed the capacity of the space. And then in April and in May, we're anticipating that we'll be able to also open up for in-person. And if the weather cooperates, we may even be able to do it outdoors, which will vastly increase the number of people who can come safely. So we're looking forward to that. They will all still be live streamed wherever it is that we end up, and however we end up doing with the live in person. So thank you for sticking with us and attending, and don't forget to sign up and subscribe, because when we have technical difficulties like this, that is the fastest way to get your new link. And you can also just, if we have technical difficulties, it's worth just checking the channel to see if something new has been posted and join in. So let's review the Lament for Lord Ballenden. All right. And then our other ear tune was the Slow Strats Bay, right? Miss McDonald Buchanan's. No.
Lady
Oh, it was Lady Ann Hope. Thank you. Thank you. I was about to play the wrong tune. Oh, gosh. Lady Ann Hope. much. And it's been nice having you join me for this Fiddle Club workshop. And I hope you've enjoyed learning about the music of John Pringle, from Scottish composer from the Borders area, born around 1770. So see you next time. Join us for the jam session at 6:30. If you're a member of the club, you have been emailed a Zoom link for that. See you later.